So, it's Christmas Eve, viewers. Hello. In the game. Oh yeah. Friends, and welcome back to Glory Hunter. You've seen the thumbnail quite important for today's episode because there's a discussion to be had about who we've got in the next round of the Champions League. Welcome then to, well, as I say, Christmas Eve 2024. I thought it made a lot of sense. Of course, for those of you that have been eagle-eyed, one, you've criticised my transfer window from yesterday. Good Lord. I did that transfer window thinking, this isn't that bad. No one's going to have an issue with this, surely. Everyone had an issue with it. Kurt Zouma's my fourth best player this season. He's had a great time. He's out here living the dream, putting in the best performance of his life. I've had to shield him from your criticism, or the criticism of me. Actually, no, a lot of you thought Zouma was all right as a signing. You had a lot of issues with Kalidou Koulibaly, though, didn't you? Good Lord. Too old, apparently. He's the backup. Fekir. Oh, not as good as Dybala. He's doing more than Dybala ever did. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. I'm defending myself is what I'm doing, viewers. That's what I'm coming out hot. And Alex Telles is a good defender. Criticising him. He's trying his best. Short-term fix while better left-backs were simply not available, viewers. If I could have brought in Andy Robertson, I'd have brought in Andy Robertson. And Gini Wijnaldum, the best fourth-choice midfielder in the league. Yeah, so have that. I should have said that yesterday. Should have said all this yesterday. 100 grand, he's won the Premier League. I mean, it's a bargain. He's annoyed he's not getting more playing time. So think about the things I've had to deal with. Yeah. Now, you join us on Christmas Eve, as I've said then, and let's have a look through what's gone on since we last met. It was the Super Cup. But now, of course, we've Italy's sort of done. We've kind of completed it. And our league form in Italy was brilliant up until December, where then we started to lose. Well, we lost 2 games in a row, which was heartbreaking. Atalanta and Roma both beat us. A draw with Zebra to round things off in December. And we sit then third in Serie A. My reputation firmly intact. Vlahovic scoring goals, Sesko scoring goals. And actually, it's a bit frustrating because this doesn't really, in my opinion, tell the story. That is a better indication of the story. We've been top for quite a while until those defeats more recently. Basically, it caught up with us a little bit of rotation, few injuries here and there, and it's not been quite as successful as it was. But so far, so good. The front two doing the business. As I mentioned, the back line doing really well. Singo having the best season he's going to have, I reckon. Zouma as well, performing pretty well. Quatta's doing okay. Pellegrini, who's starting more games at left back than Telles is. The younger man, because I know you hate old players, viewers. That's what I've gathered. But I played through a whole half a season yesterday to get us to this point to see where we sat. And I think we're sitting okay. Now, the problem we've got is the Champions League, and we are through that, not a problem. 6 games, unbeaten, 5 wins, 1 draw. A really impressive performance, actually. Only 3 goals conceded so far, and our defensive record in this and Serie A actually has been really, really strong. We've got rid of any of the people Hertha Berlin. I realise you're seeing this group without knowing that it was even drawn. But just know, we aced it. Which leaves us with a conundrum. We have now, in the next leg of the Champions League, or the next stage of the Champions League, Manchester United. And that job might be available soon. Now, I've waited. I've bided my time. And I'm not going to lie to you. There's been 2 jobs come up that we could have maybe gone for, but I think you will hopefully agree with me. They are not upgrades on this Milan position that we've still got, that we're still strong in the Champions League. I don't think we're good enough to win it, which is kind of why I set the team up to then leave it, but didn't leave it. I basically did them a favour signing all the old players. That was my thought process. You didn't necessarily read it like that. Some of you did, though. So, let's be fair. But you can see there, insecure positions, Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I want it. I've already declared interest. They currently sit 5th in the Premier League. They are well off the title right now, 11 points behind Chelsea, who are running away with it. Their form in recent times has been, I'm going to call it patchy, similar to ours though, but again, 5th. They're looking to win titles. If they lose to local rivals Man City on Boxing Day, who knows what could happen. That could be a big swing point for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and we're ready to step up. Now, of course, if we do get the Manchester United job, one of our first tasks will be taking on Milan in the Champions League. So I think you can agree, viewers, this is wonderful. In terms of spice, this is the perfect amount of spice. Now, whether or not we get that job, of course, that remains unknown. The two jobs, I'm sure you're curious, who did I not apply for that you might think I should have applied for? Now, the first of which was Enemy of the People, Hertha Berlin, who is currently managed by the big man, and you might not be aware that this is Allegri, but this is Allegri's name because he starts at Juventus, and of course there's a licensing issue. Now, the good news for me is Allegri was out of work. Guardiola, by the way, has gone to Spain, so good, get out of the way. And Allegri now has pissed off as well. So he's out of the running. So really, if the Manchester United job becomes available, it's me and Roberto Mancini. And that's not Frank de Boer. So it's not too bad. But I didn't want to go to Hertha Berlin. I know it's an option to go to Germany. I know they've got a lot of money. They're way off the pace. They're sort of a Europa League side. Do I believe in 3 to 4 years I could win the Bundesliga with Hertha Berlin? The answer was no. I probably don't quite think it's possible. If I end up with that amount of time at the end of Glory Hunter and we end up in Germany at the very end and we're going for the title in the Bundesliga, maybe then things would be slightly different. I'd have a better knowledge of the game world in terms of regens. I can manipulate that a little bit better than I can in real life, I think. So maybe. But right now, for me as a manager, in Football Manager, it doesn't make sense. And the other team is kind of similar to them, but in Spain. That team was Bilbao, currently managed by Roberto Martinez, a manager that I didn't consider myself in competition with. Now, Bilbao, again, an interesting side, some really interesting players as well, like some really good players. I don't know how to say his surname, and I'm definitely going to get it wrong. But this man, who's 24, is brilliant. Inaki Williams is there, of course, and the Kappa's there, Unai Nunes at the back, Unai Simon in goal, Simon. Like they are really good. There's some really nice footballers at this team, Inigo Martinez and Herrera, right? But there's limitations with Bilbao in terms of transfers, and not only that, they're 16th. And the job to take a team that are currently in the bottom half of La Liga to dominate La Liga, that is arguably tougher than what I had with Hertha Berlin. So again, that was a job that while I was like, if things get desperate, we could, but I didn't really want to take on. Oh, by the way, while we're here, Villarreal have this man, Victor Velasco. I showed you him a while ago. It might have just sparked a memory for you. He might be the best young regen in the game world right now, and I want to sign him one day. He's got an £88 million release fee. I will sign him one day, please. So I'm still waiting. I did say last episode I would come to you with my new job and my new options and possibilities. And again, I've gone for the United job. I've applied for it. The Manchester United fans consider me the leading candidate for the job. I've not been able to... I say I've applied for it. I've declared interest in the job. I'm applying my brain to it, and I'm hoping they'll do the same thing. Now, what we can do is we can go... Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas 2024, which makes me 24. It helps being born on the end of the decade, or at the start, however you want to look at it. So yes, we don't necessarily think the jobs are going to become available. Of course, we're entering a January transfer window in which the Milan board gave me more money. I've got 50 million to spend again. So is there possibilities here that we end up staying in Milan for an unprecedented fourth season, which... to me, is a better option than... So why would it... Okay, so I didn't leave. And some of you were annoyed I didn't leave. But in Glory Hunter, there's no point in leaving, trying to start a managerial shuffle, letting someone like Allegri or Mancini, both Italian managers, or Guardiola could have done it as well, and step in at Milan. I'm jobless. And then I'm just thinking to myself, do I take the Bilbao job because... I've got nothing else, or do I take the Hertha Berlin job because I've got nothing else? To me, that's a far worse position than being still in the job at Milan, still in the Champions League. So obviously, we still need to knock that off the chart of Glory Hunter. That, to me, is a stronger position than being jobless and waiting for something and hoping to start a managerial shuffle that might never happen. That, to me, is too big a risk to be then in a job like Bilbao, like Hertha Berlin, that is not a prospect in terms of their leagues and what I can achieve in those leagues. I had to make the choice. If you're doing your own Glory Hunter save, I'm sure, and there's lots of you that are, and I love that you are, I'm sure you find that decision all the time, and it's a difficult decision to make as well. Don't get me wrong. I've done the other thing before. If you want to see what happened last time I did it in the first Glory Hunter. The thing that people wanted me to do, I did. Transfer window wise, to talk about that again, I feel like it was probably a 7 out of 10 transfer window. Some described it as the most DoctorBenjy window of all time and the worst transfer window. I've done so much worse. Deadline day, literally 2 seasons ago. I've done so much worse. Chelsea fans want to sign Benjamin Sesko. That's a lovely thought. I've just realised United played on the 26th. I don't think they were... Please have lost to City, because I think we can all agree that doesn't look good for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Please have lost. They've beat them 5-0. So that's annoying. They've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin there. And of course, Adeyemi's there as well, a player that I very much enjoy. I'm doing 3 different saves right now where I've managed Adeyemi. And the versions I've got of Adeyemi are so vastly different. It's ridiculous. I've got a version of the network save I'm doing with Tottenham at the moment where he is unbelievable. In this save, he's sort of middle of the road. And in the network game I've got with Zealand, Lujo and White the Space, he's at the start of his career and he's not good at all. So it's very strange to see different versions of him. Looking at this Manchester United side, Azpilicueta plays for them, Wesley Fofana plays for them, and Kunku plays for them, sorry. He's wonderful. Not as good as he can be, but still very good. Adeyemi's still there. It's quite a similar Manchester United side, but Souček, a few others as well, Asensio in there. It's a team I would like to manage, don't get me wrong. It's a team that I think there's a lot of potential with, and a team that I definitely think I could win things with, more importantly. Again, I'm trying to apply some pressure to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If he keeps winning, then it's not going to be possible. It's not insecure anymore, which is the first issue we've got. The Manchester City job and the Manchester United job are just stable, and they're the 2 in England that I think we'd be interested in. Atletico Madrid is another one of the jobs that is sort of on the down, as it's only stable. Same with Bayern Munich, actually, and this is just a chat about what's going on in the leagues. Bayern right now, 12 points off the top. For Bayern Munich, that's a big... You look at the history of the Bundesliga, that is a lot of scrolling. That's a lot for them to be behind right now. And of course, a job that we would still like. I'll sit here and continue as we sort of play along a little bit. I don't have any more games until the 5th of January, but we're not going to play a game today. But I did think it was important to bring you the context of what's going on in the wider footballing world right now and whether we could go to any of the clubs that become available. And I say right now, there's not really anything available. All it would have done for you as viewers, I feel like, you would have just seen me get there quicker. But I then realised that playing through until Christmas made equal sense. So you didn't lose anything. If anything, I lost the time by playing all of these matches. And having, I will say, playing all these matches, having a lovely time doing it. Vlahovic and Sesko are a wonderful partnership. I want them to be together forever. We started the season so well too. Kalulu wants to know why he's not starting matches. I've rejected bids of 40 million for Kalulu. I could probably accept those and bring in a superstar left back. But the left back issue, we should maybe talk about that a little bit, as I was looking at the transfer list at future options for me. John Stones, is he the guy? Any left backs become available? Not necessarily. I mean, Cucurella's not bad. He's probably the one on the transfer list. But again, we were talking about at the time, remember, replacing Theo Hernandez, like one of the best left backs in the game. It's so difficult to replace a man like him. If we look at players that are interested in me, that we could have maybe brought in, they're going to cost ridiculous money by all accounts. And do you want to bring in Luke Shaw for £70 million? I'm not necessarily sure you do. Sergio Dest is there. Kieran Tierney. Now, Tierney might be someone that is now kind of available, which would be interesting because of Arsenal's situation in signing Theo Hernandez. Is Tierney simply playing right back? Yes, he is just playing right back. They've done that. Tomiyasu cannot believe this. Tierney's played 17 matches, sometimes featuring at right back. Theo Hernandez, he's injured at the moment. He's played a lot of games, though, I realise, and is playing pretty well. Not as well as he did for me, worth noting, but still doing okay. I don't know. The left-back issue is still an issue for me, if you think of it in that way, but replacing a world-class left-back with another world-class left-back is difficult. Milan's stature, as much as we won Serie A, isn't that of an elite club. So getting those big players, you have to pay big money, and we haven't necessarily always got that money. I know what you're going to say. You spent £60 million on Kurt Zouma. I spent 30 million and installmented 30 million. I didn't spend 60 million on Kurt Zouma. I wouldn't dream of it. Well, I mean, I sort of did. So I started this episode wanting the Manchester United job. I sit here now realising it's pretty unattainable, and I don't really fancy going to West Brom, Luton, Rotherham and others, if I'm honest. West Brom are a Premier League side right now, but I don't necessarily think that the Milan to West Brom move is the move. If I'd completed all the Glory Hunter and I had 6 years, maybe we'd consider it. As much as we talked about Milan, let's turn our attention to a team with prospects. Now, look at this Norway team. What a joy to behold Norway are. Erling Haaland, the first time really properly managing him this year at FM. He's fun. A lot of guard behind him, equally fun. We've had a pretty good run, I think, in our Nations League group. I don't think 2-2-2 is that bad, to be honest. We had some really good games against some of the better sides as well. I did really enjoy it. We beat England 4-1, Czech Republic 2-1 in the first game. I should go in order, really. 3-0 defeat to Spain, happens kind of. A really late goal, 93rd minute goal from Jack Grealish, rescued England. We then drew with the Czech Republic 3-3. It was but we're not amazing at defending, I'll say that much. Then a 4-1 win, Haaland hat-trick against England before a 1-1 against Spain. We took the lead, then it was sort of, they scored in about half an hour, and then it was just sort of a very up and down game that no one really took control of. But I think all in all, from playing with the team and using the Milan system, I should say as well, like I'm sure there's some Norway fans that are interested. Like, we're using this system. It actually works quite well. There's sort of a different section of players all the time. Odegaard often plays on the left, but after you play that first game, everyone's knackered, so you have to rest players, and Odegaard was one of them. He didn't play against Spain, which was annoying. By the way, I've just been named Manager of the Year, so just smiling at the moment, if that's all right. I'm very, very pleased with that. Yeah, as I say, we're just sort of waiting now. Norway job's going okay. We've got our World Cup qualification group. I should probably show you that as well. One of the teams in it, I'm not going to call them hilarious, but I think you'll like who's there. Let's just show you quickly on here. One of the teams in our group, viewers, notice them, is Italy. Of course it is. So as the transfer window is about to open, we're still actively looking. So my position right now, to explain it, I'm still looking to move clubs. That is the plan. But I'm only going to move clubs if the right club comes up. And meanwhile, while I'm here, I'm going to try and win the Champions League with AC Milan. Seems like a pretty good plan to me. Let me know what you make of it in the comment section down below. I feel like this was a good episode to explain a little more. Before we go, there's loads of stuff here that I think we should read through. Haaland has got Footballer of the Year, so that's partly on me because Norway. Sesko, World Under-21 Footballer of the Year. He's mine. That's on me. Bijlow, second. Damn it, behind Edison. Well, second's good though. I'll take the points. Team of the Year, Milan Team of the Year. Who's in the Milan? Benjamin Sesko's on the substitutes for World Team of the Year. The substitutes. Who's got the highest average rating? Sesko's third. Okay, he's been beaten by Haaland, who's also mine, so that works. Leon Bailey is the best North American player of the year. The fact he's from Jamaica and won that is annoying for those two boys, I would imagine, but I'm happy about it. Mane wins African Football of the Year, but Singo second in that, splitting Mane and Salah. That's tough to do. It makes his way into the right back spot as well. Bijlow gets Italian Goalkeeper of the Year. I'll congratulate him. No one's congratulated me, it feels like. Again, African award winners. Singo best defender. Well done to him. And any other? Have I won anything else? No, but so far, so good. Again, leave your thoughts in the comment section. I was hoping for the United job. It does still feel precarious. The fact it's even going insecure at times and then falling out of that spot makes me quite excited. But other than that, we're sitting, we're waiting and hoping for something to come up. But at the same time, Champions League. If I don't have a job by the next time you see me, which will be the 27th of December, enjoy your Christmases. We will be playing, as we go back to Milan very briefly, we will be playing Manchester United in the Champions League. It'll be both games as well in one episode. So I'll see you in February and in March with lovely care. Goodbye. I don't know what. Well, who knows? The whole thing's a mystery. Merry Christmas.